The buzz in Pittsburgh is reaching a whole new level as the second week of off-season workouts continues, and Steelers fans are lighting up the conversation with questions, opinions, and plenty of speculation. And of course, at the heart of the debate is one name that keeps popping up: Aaron Rodgers. There's a growing sense of anticipation, and while some have already counted him out of the equation, the signs tell a very different story. Rodgers, a seasoned quarterback with over 4 decades of life behind him, isn't one to rush into things he doesn't believe in. His reputation, built on precision, leadership, and an almost artistic approach to the quarterback role, suggests that he's thinking several moves ahead. The notion that he wouldn't want to participate in voluntary activities at this stage of his career makes perfect sense. After all, a veteran with his mileage doesn't exactly need OTAs to prove his worth. He's done it all, seen it all, and for him, this part of the year is about preservation and preparation, not about running drills under the spring sun. What's even more intriguing is how vague yet telling Rodgers has been when asked about his next move. He's dropped hints that eliminate certain teams from contention, mentioning places he won't go while staying curiously silent or elusive when Pittsburgh enters the conversation. It doesn't take a detective to read between the lines. Add to that the chatter from insiders and analysts who've suggested that the Steelers are quietly confident about his arrival before mandatory minicamp kicks off in early June. There's an unspoken agreement among those in the know that this is more of a when than an if. But even if the Rodgers question mark still looms large, the Steelers front office isn't just sitting around waiting. The search for another wide receiver continues, and that pursuit might be just as important. The idea of bringing in someone like John Mechie has surfaced in fan circles. But let's be honest here, while Mechie has some nice traits, he's probably not the guy that changes the entire dynamic of this receiving core. There are players out there who are simply better fits, whether it's because of route running, experience, or just the sheer ability to open up the field. Someone like Romeo Doubs, for instance, makes a bit more sense stylistically and could offer an immediate impact. Amari Cooper and Keenan Allen also come up in these conversations for good reason. Cooper, despite a thumb injury that clearly affected his catching ability last season, remains one of the most polished route runners in the league, and once he got healthier late in the year, his hands looked much more reliable again. Allen, while aging, still brings a veteran presence and can function at a high level when used correctly. These are names that could truly upgrade the offense and ease the burden on whoever is under center, whether it's Rodgers or someone else. Now, if all of those targets end up being out of reach, sure, Mechie becomes a more realistic fallback. He's got decent hands, can block in the run game, and isn't afraid to do the dirty work across the middle. He fits the mold of a complementary receiver, someone who won't blow the doors off defenses but will make the right play when called upon. If you can snag a player like that for a 6th or 7th round pick, it's a move worth exploring. But he's not the guy you chase first. He's the guy you turn to when all the big fish are already swimming elsewhere. The questions don't stop there. One fan wanted to know how Roman Wilson stacks up compared to receivers from Steelers history. But if we're being honest, his best comparison might actually be someone from outside Pittsburgh lore. Think Randall Cobb. Wilson, Cobb in his prime, has the burst, agility, and slot precision that make him dangerous over the middle. He might not be the kind of guy you want facing press coverage on the outside, but when it comes to slicing through zone defenses and finding the soft spot across the middle, he's got that ability. His acceleration, especially on drag routes, and crossers, jumps off the tape. And just like Cobb, he has that gritty, no-nonsense mentality. Roman's even been quoted saying, "No block, no rock." And that tells you all you need to know about the mindset he's bringing to this team. In an offense that might lean more heavily on play action and layered route concepts, Wilson's skill set fits perfectly, particularly if Rodgers does join the mix. Speaking of quarterbacks, there's also the inevitable curiosity about whether the Steelers have already found their franchise guy in someone like Howard. Now, to be blunt, probably not. As much as fans want to believe in a late-round gem, the odds are what they are. 6th-round quarterbacks very rarely turn into long-term starters, let alone stars. Howard does bring a few tools to the table. He's got a solid frame, decent mobility, and enough arm talent to make throws when he's protected and confident. But rawness is still a concern, and it's highly unlikely that he'll be ready. to step in and lead an NFL offense from day one. Maybe he surprises us. Maybe he develops faster than expected. But for now, the more realistic expectation is that he competes for a backup role and possibly grows into something more down the line. And let's not forget what could happen next offseason. Pittsburgh has multiple picks and flexibility in the upcoming draft. And if things don't go according to plan under center this year, there's a good chance they go quarterback hunting early in 2026. So the pressure on Howard isn't just to perform, it's to perform quickly in limited opportunities and somehow convince the staff that he's more than just a placeholder. That's a tough ask for any rookie, let alone one drafted that late. But stranger things have happened in this league. Back to the idea of improving the current offense, the name Jonnu Smith keeps coming up. And there's definitely some intrigue there. In an offense that may favor more two tight end sets, Smith could provide real value, especially alongside Pat Freiermuth. He's athletic, versatile, and can line up in different spots depending on the package. What complicates things is the financial side. What does he want in terms of salary? How much of his contract would the Steelers have to eat? These are real concerns, but from a pure football standpoint, Smith is a nice chess piece. The kind of player that can add a different flavor to the offense, particularly in red zone and short yardage situations. As for Amari Cooper again, the conversation shifts depending on how you view his effort in the run game. He's not a grinder out there when it comes to blocking, and that might not sit well with an offensive coordinator who wants toughness across the board. But if you're looking for someone to beat man coverage on third down and make the defense pay for leaving him one-on-one, Cooper still has that in his bag. His separation ability hasn't faded, and when healthy, he's still a top-tier technician at the position. Fans also asked about the potential record this team could post with Aaron Rodgers at the helm. 14 wins, that's ambitious, no doubt about it. That kind of number puts you in contention for the top seed in the conference, maybe even home field advantage throughout the playoffs. But is it possible? Well, anything's possible when you've got elite defensive talent like TJ Watt on your side. The defense alone will keep Pittsburgh in most games. And if Rodgers can still operate efficiently, protect the football, and deliver in the clutch, this team becomes very dangerous. Add a functioning run game, which was sorely lacking last year, and suddenly you're looking at an offense that can complement that elite defense. That's how you win big games in January. Still, expecting everything to go perfectly is a tall order. Injuries happen. Opponents adjust. So a more conservative but still optimistic prediction might land somewhere around 11 or 12 wins. Maybe 13 if the stars align. But the key thing is this. With Rodgers in the building, Pittsburgh becomes a legitimate playoff team again. Not just a wild card hopeful, an actual contender. That's what this fan base craves. That's what the front office has been quietly building toward. So the next few weeks could be pivotal. Whether or not Rodgers signs before minicamp could shape the entire narrative of the upcoming season. And in the meantime, expect more movement, more rumors, and maybe even a trade or two as Pittsburgh looks to put the final pieces in place. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The sports world is buzzing with a tantalizing rumor that could shake up the NFL landscape. Aaron Rodgers, the legendary quarterback known for his precision and clutch performances, is reportedly set to join the Pittsburgh Steelers. Although nothing has been officially confirmed beyond Rodgers' own subtle hints, the whispers are growing louder, sparking a frenzy among fans and analysts alike. For years, Rodgers has been synonymous with the Green Bay Packers, where he crafted a Hall of Fame-worthy career marked by multiple MVP awards and unforgettable playoff moments. However, speculation has swirled about his future ever since recent seasons showed signs of transition for both the veteran quarterback and the Packers franchise. Now, sources close to the situation suggest that Rodgers might be ready to embrace a fresh challenge in the Steel City, donning the iconic black and gold. The possibility of Rodgers heading to Pittsburgh is especially intriguing given the Steelers' history and current trajectory. The franchise has been searching for a dynamic seasoned leader under center who can elevate their offense and return them to championship contention. Rodgers' arrival could provide the immediate spark the team needs, blending his experience and skill with the Steelers' strong defense and passionate fan base. Fans are already imagining the fireworks on the field, picturing Rodgers commanding the offense with his trademark calm and laser-sharp throws. His potential synergy with Pittsburgh's emerging stars could transform the team into a formidable contender, reigniting hope for a franchise that hasn't tasted Super Bowl glory in over a decade. Of course, questions remain. How will Rodgers adapt to a new system and coaching staff? What will this mean for the Steelers' current quarterback situation? And importantly, can Rodgers sustain his elite level of play in a new city and under different pressures? These are the burning topics fueling debates across sports media platforms. While the NFL world waits for official announcements, the mere suggestion of Aaron Rodgers in a Steelers jersey has injected fresh excitement into the offseason chatter. If the rumor proves true, it could mark one of the most significant quarterback moves in recent memory, redefining the balance of power in the league and giving fans plenty to talk about as the next season approaches. For now, all eyes are on Pittsburgh and Rodgers as the story unfolds. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Pittsburgh Steelers, make sure to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.